everyone. I just wanted to do a quick overview of the Exploring Early Childhood Settings assignment for you. I have our assignment submission box here pulled up on Blackboard. And remember, as always, the rubric is attached here for you as a Word document. And I also created a PowerPoint template for you to follow along with or to create your presentation from. As a reminder, once I have graded your work, you can view any feedback within the online rubric here by clicking on this. You can view it in grid view or list view. And any additional feedback when I say, view rubric for additional feedback or view rubric for additional details on any points missed, all of that information will be provided for you here. And so I will go to the PowerPoint template. And this PowerPoint template is actually providing you with exactly what needs to be included within the presentation. So you'll first off just start with an introduction, going over the type of setting that you've selected and why you've selected this setting. And so here you might just have an overview saying something like, I've decided to focus on a Reggio Emilia preschool program, and I've decided to select a Reggio Emilia preschool setting because I believe strongly in the principles and curriculum included in a Reggio Emilia setting, or I would like to work in a Reggio Emilia setting in the future, or something along those lines. Next, you'll provide a description of the type of early childhood program, including the population served, the physical environment, staffing, and any additional information that you'd like to provide. So the population served for my program might be 3 to 5 year olds enrolled in preschool in a rural setting. The physical environment would be described. You can describe classrooms, you can describe the building, you can describe the actual geographical location. I'll leave that up to you. Staffing would include things like whether or not all of your teachers are certified, how many teachers you have in your building, any administrative staff, things like that. And you can also provide any additional information that you'd like to provide here, including, any details about the program, if you have a program name. Really, this is up to you here. You'll also be providing a historical and philosophical context for your program. And this can include things like a philosophy of learning and/or child development. You can think back to your own philosophy writing that you did for your assignment, and it's perfectly fine to include some of that within this. That was purposely done before this assignment so that you could include your own philosophy of learning within your center. And this should include at least one citation. So if you're citing a specific philosophy or context, such as Reggio Emilia, then I would make a citation here to course content or the textbook where it talks about the Reggio Emilia approach. The next thing you will include is a theory of development that's appropriate for the setting. So here I might include something like ecological systems theory or Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or any type of theory that you've learned about throughout the semester that is age appropriate and developmentally appropriate for the setting. And then you're also going to include an example curriculum that incorporates this theory. This can be a real curriculum that you find online or in the textbook. If so, please cite this and add it to your references. Or you can create your own curriculum. This exploration project is really for you to consider your ideal early childhood setting. So you can create your own preschool setting or elementary school setting, infant toddler setting, and develop a basic curriculum and just let me know what is in that curriculum, how things are assessed, and what the connection is between that curriculum and the theory that you've selected. Lastly, you will include support for children with diverse needs. So here you will provide a description of how you will support children from each of the following diverse backgrounds: culturally, linguistically, ability, and socioeconomically diverse. So I, for example, might include in my presentation that the Reggio Emilia approach supports ability diverse students by allowing a child-centered focus and blah, 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 adding in some details there about that. If your setting does not support one or more of these populations, please include why. So for example, if you have a setting that would not provide support for socioeconomically diverse children, maybe perhaps you have a private setting and the tuition is very high and there are no vouchers or no funding for those children to be included, then I would need a good reason why that support is not there. And lastly, you'll just end with any sort of conclusion that you want to provide to sort of wrap things up together and have an ending to your presentation. Any references that you use or any sources that are used during your presentation should be included here on the reference page. For this week, to submit your assignment, you can submit your presentation using any sort of presentation format that you want. If you'd like to do a Prezi, if you want to do a PowerPoint, Google Slides, anything is fine. I just thought I would provide this basic PowerPoint template for you in case you wanted to use it. Please feel free to, add in whatever design you want or format. You can record yourself giving the presentation, or you can just submit the presentation. If you are only submitting the presentation, then I should be able to see all parts that are required clearly labeled and included on each slide. If you'd like to have less information on your actual slides and practice recording your presentation, then feel free to do so. Your participation activity for next week will be to actually record a presentation based on this and upload it to a small group discussion board and then talk to your peers about your different early childhood settings. But for the purposes of the assignment, it can be either recorded or just submitted. I will leave that totally up to you.